Hi guys, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. Okay, so today is one of my tutorials. I discussed a little bit about that in a previous video. Was my Happy Mail video. But what we're going to be doing today is a tutorial. I have pre-cut things for the most part, for the sake of just, you know, time, so that it doesn't take too long. But these are pieces over here, and I'm going to show you what we're going to be making. We're going to be making this beautiful piece, and yes, I've got printing on the back because I used the cover sheet from the cardstock. You can cover the back. You don't have to use anything with printing on it, but you can cover the back and leave this as a free piece that you just clip in to a journal or put into a pocket, or, you know, either a bottom pocket or a side pocket or a slanted pocket, whatever you might want, or however you want to use it, or you can just glue it down. I don't know that I would glue it on all three sides because it makes it kind of tight, but you can certainly glue it on two sides and make it sort of just, you know, a tuck back this way. You know, so it's just glued here and here, or if it's on the other side of your page, here and here, and then it's, you know, open on this side. So let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to pull out the tags that I made, and I'll just lay them down here. I'm hoping this is all in screen. Are we in screen? Not particularly. Let's pull them down. Okay, and there's another one. And they're just plain on the back like this. All of them are that way. You can do more to the tags. I just decided that the paper was pretty. I was going to leave it just the way it was, especially since this one essentially has nothing left but the flowers. And then I did make it so that, and I made it so that I can pull these out, but I did make little hidden pockets here as well. So there's paper in here that can be written on. And then that just goes back in here. I'm going to do it this way, I think. These are pretty long, as you can tell. I just want to leave that hanging out a little bit, easier for me to grab. Top one goes all the way down, middle one, bottom one, okay? And then, yes, there is another one in this pocket as well. So I could make this paper actually a little bit longer, but so we have that one in there. So we have a little bit, just trying to leave an edge out. So this is what we're going to make. I'm only making the pocket today. I'm not going to do the tags. The tags I cut, I will tell you this, I cut out of cardstock. And then all I did was take my roll of tape and lined it up and centered it on the back, as you can see, and just traced around it and cut it off. And then I used the next one to do the other two. So that's it. It wasn't a die cut. It wasn't anything fancy. Just find something that works and use it. So I'm going to take the tags. I'm just going to put them over here, and we're going to get started. So like I said, I did pre-cut these pieces. Somewhere I did here, I wrote down the sizes basically. I don't always measure things when I'm working them out. I just sort of make them fit. So sometimes I end up with things like 5/16 or 3/8 or something like that, which you can see I have all the way down. But I'll hold this up. I want to take a screenshot of that. Let me get it where it's not in the shadow over here. So these burgundy pieces of paper that you see here, these were the sizes. The coffee paper, which it was coffee stained, were these sizes. And some of this is the coffee paper that you're going to see here. Okay. And then the floral pages that I have here, and this was from chapter 1, Victoriana. This was one of her pages. That is the sizes here, you know, consecutively going down. So I'm just going to hold that there for a second. You can take a screenshot, or you can write it down, or whatever. I should be like humming the Jeopardy tune or something. But anyway, so that was that. So like I said, when I do it, I start out with something that's generally a normal size. And this is not a very heavy cardstock. It's actually like just kind of heavy paper is all it is. But by the time you get done, it's a, you know, it's a pretty sturdy piece. This is the heaviest thing. And then this is just copy paper. That's all it is. Regular computer printer copy paper. So the first thing we're going to do is I cut these pieces out to match those sizes that you saw. Then we're going to work on the biggest piece first. So I cut this piece to fit on top of the card. Okay, now my cutting may not be absolutely perfect. And as I was putting it together, I was finding places where edges, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to trim that. But by the time I layered it all, it pretty much covered it all. So I really didn't have to trim anything. So we're going to do that. So in order to get these diagonals, I just decided where I wanted them to go. Okay, so if we're using these sizes, come over here. If we're, you know, if you're going to use the sizes that I have, started in that corner and I came down, it's about 1.5 inches. Okay, just about 1.5 inches. When I folded this piece, that's how I determined the other ones. Okay, so they'd be folded at the same angle. I just traced it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to fold on that line. If I can find it, probably the easiest way is to start up at the corner and then go down here. I'm just folding on that pencil line that I have. I'm just going to fold it over. Okay, burnish it a little bit. The old bone folder. And for the sake of, I should have filled this up again. I always forget. For the sake of, you know, stability, we're just going to glue this flap down. And that'll make the edge good and sturdy, especially once the glue dries. It helps make it nice and stiff. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Then I inked it, and since I didn't know where exactly what you'd be able to see, I kind of inked it everywhere. But this is primarily, and you don't have to ink it if you don't want to. Just gonna go down the side a little bit, just because you're gonna see some here. Okay, and I don't really need it over here because you won't see it, but you know, what the heck. So you do that. That back over here, and then we're going to glue that onto here, okay, just like a pocket. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now I'm using this glue, which I ended up doing after I glued this piece down on the first one I did, because I felt I could see the line from the art glitter glue through this paper. So I opted to not use the art glitter glue on the rest of it. So we're just gonna put that down here, line it up as best as we can. And this gets all wrinkly when you coffee dye things, you know. Try to press that down a little bit. For something like this too, it might be good to just cut that edge off so you're not all ripply. I'll just go back and forth over and kind of just flatten it down. So hopefully we'll have enough. I may have to go back and re-glue the tips or something, but we're good. In the meantime, we are good. Okay, so I should have numbered these, but I didn't. But these are pretty self-explanatory on these. Okay, where's the side I want on this? There it is. Okay. However, on these, they were not. Because I wanted to get as much of the pattern onto, you know, as much of the floral onto the picture as possible. And in certain places, you don't have to worry. Like here, this paper here doesn't go all the way down. It just goes to about here. Why waste the paper if you're not going to see it? So what I have to do is find the one that it was, which I tried to cut it the same so you can see, okay? So even though this is the longer pocket, because this is going to be glued to the face of the pocket, you won't know. Okay, you won't know that it doesn't go all the way down. So let's go ahead and try to get our corner here and this end here. Okay, and bring that up to the tip, and then just do that. It's a little off, but that's okay. Get rid of the pencil line where we can see it. Let's get some more inking done here. And like I said, you can ink, you know, just do the distress ink on the edge or not. Just going to do a little there because it might show through the lace. So do that one. And then that's just going to go up in this corner. And we're going to kind of do the same thing going all the way down. Okay, so let's glue this part down. Get it down with my finger here. So I hope everybody's doing well. Our weather has been not too bad here in Johnstown. I cannot complain, but my goodness, what happened with Buffalo? Oh my Lord, that was just crazy. And I think most of you who watch know that we just moved from Buffalo to here in the summer. So yeah, so we missed all of that horrific weather. I mean, that was just unprecedented, horrifying weather. Just crazy. So I'm just going to glue this like a pocket. You don't need to, but because I don't know where it ends, you know, where I don't want to glue it over where it doesn't belong is what I'm saying. So I'm going to glue that down like the pocket. And then all I'm going to do is go ahead and take my art glitter glue, which hopefully is not plugged up. And I'm just going to, now you can leave this open for another little tuck if you wanted to. I opted not to because I knew what I was going to be doing with the burgundy parts that made the other little hidden pockets. But you certainly could leave that open and like make it as another tuck. I'll show you that on the next piece. So there's your first pocket. You've got your first pocket right here, okay? This is from, I use this to thread my needles because I can't hardly see them. So then we're going to take the next piece and we're going to put that one down. Okay, again, this is going to make a pocket, so we're going to go ahead and glue that once I get my bubble. There we go. So we're going to glue this one down. Oops, like so. I really don't want that to come up too far. Let me get rid of some of that. This glue right here. Like I said, I'm not going to make the tags that are going to go in here this time in this video. Just was more concerned about showing you how to do the pockets. But I will show you how it goes in. So you can see here how I cut that a little too narrow, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and just center that because the other pieces will probably cover it. Yeah, I was doing that yesterday or whenever it was, a few days ago, I guess, when I put this together. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to trim this down. I made a mess out of all of this, and it actually worked out fine. So, okay, so then we take the next biggest piece. I have my line here, which you probably can't see. But like I said, all I did was once I folded this over, I just laid it on top of here and I just traced the line in the opposite direction and then went back to this one in this direction. That's all I did. Very untechnical. You kind of do it as you go kind of thing. So we're going to go ahead and get to the tip here as best as I can. And here to follow along that pencil line. Okay. Got to get it a little further up here. And then there. Okay. And that's that. Okay. glue this part down. Now you could also ink the cardstock, for lack of, you know, a better word. For here it's this burgundy color, this dark red. You could ink that as well, but in order for me to, I felt, to be able to see the vintage photo wouldn't show up very well, I didn't think. So I would have to use something darker, and I didn't want to do that. I thought it would just be too dark. So I left it alone. So we have that. Let's go ahead and ink this one. Okay. And that one doesn't really show, but it does show down on this side. So let's get that inked. Doesn't show all the way down, but it does show part of the way down. Okay, and we're gonna put this one on here, okay? So go ahead and get the glue on this one. So yeah, so our weather's been pretty fair. Christmas is over. The Christmas season is over. So it's, like I said in my way older videos, Christmas is a very busy time for us in our ministry. We've changed the kind of ministry that we do within our church right now. So this is even busier than I was before. And I'm just learning. So everything that gets done in this one, so in this type of ministry that we're doing, like I said, we're in a regular neighborhood church, and we do a lot of community service and serving the community in our ministry. So there's a lot of feeding programs and housing assistance in, you know, helping to pay bills, and food distribution, and toy collections and distributions, and clothing and coats, and just, oh my goodness, there's just so much, so much that goes on. Okay, so now we're going to take this one. This one I happen to cut the whole thing down, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to find my pencil line here, and we're going to try to bring it up to the corner here. Okay, and let's try to get the middle down to where it doesn't complain. Okay, so yeah, so it was pretty exhausting. We were working, my husband and I, and many people from our church, bless their sweethearts. We were working 7 days a week, 12 to 14-hour days. It was just exhausting. From a little before Thanksgiving on, I'm trying to get this little corner, and it's just giving me an issue here. All right, I think we'll be all right now, I hope. Okay, let's try to get this one done. So, yeah, it was a lot of work. If you noticed, if anybody has noticed, it has probably been about 2 to 2.5 months or so since I put up any kind of video. I keep missing the paper, sorry about that. Just going behind it instead of in front of it. Prior to this one, which is today, the actual day. Today is January 10th, which is a Tuesday, and a video is going up later in a little while after I'm done doing this video. We're gonna put a video, I'll put a video up for Happy Mail that I had gotten. That wasn't fun right there. I'll talk a little bit about my plan for the year, and in a successive video, I will also talk about that. Somehow I did not get this folded in the right place. So let's get rid of the line. Still should be all right. talking about my plan for the year and trying to be like more normal in my my videos, and you know, getting them out more consistently and planning things and not just sort of doing what I could when I can, but really trying to commit to things. Talk in the other videos about well, about a lot of the ladies who I watch, and I have so many people that I try to watch, and honestly I was having trouble even watching them. Now here again, you can see I'm off a little bit here on the bottom. That was because of this fold, really, but I can cover that most likely. So let me show you how this one's going to go down, and then I'll show you what I mean about making another tuck spot if that's what you wanted to do, to add a little something else, which would actually look kind of cute. You could put little like fussy cut flowers or tickets or something else small if you wanted to kind of really stuff the pocket itself. If you were just going to send it as like a happy mail or a standalone piece, you could go ahead and do that, and that would be, you know, pretty good. So instead of lining this up at the bottom, I'm going to come up here to the top. Probably got my head in the camera, sorry. So that it lines up there, okay? So anyway, you know, a lot of the journaling, you know, crafting ladies that I watch choose words for the year, you know, sort of like a New Year's resolution, almost like, and they try to focus on that word and use it in their journals and stuff like that. Now this one I may end up having to trim at the back a little bit, but we'll see once we're done. Everybody, it seems, picks one word. Well, I'm picking like, I don't know, 5 because I'm way behind on all of this, and I need a lot of help. So, okay, so this is what I meant by you have this pocket here, okay, that one there, this pocket here, which is the one where the tag goes, and then if you wanted to, you could leave this open for a little something. I'm trying to see. My my fussy cuts are usually done on copy paper, so I'm trying to be careful, and I just glued that down. But you could put that in there, and then you could put, you know, this in behind it, or something like that. I don't happen to have tickets, but I have, this is for an upcoming video. Let me find something else. A smaller something like this could go in here, okay? So, and of course, then you're going to have the next piece that goes across here. And so you can have this pocket, you can have these pockets, and then you could have these pockets, okay? So you can do all that, and I pulled that up. So, okay. So anyway, so yeah, so I'm choosing all of these words. And again, like I said, I really was taking my inspiration from Gail Augustinelli, who I watch as often as I can, because I just think she's marvelous, and I just love listening to her. She's just really very comforting. I like hanging out with Gail. I think most people like hanging out with Gail. So but anyway, I was watching one of her videos earlier this week, and she talked about her word being finish, and I thought that was perfect because I was trying to think of what word I would want to use. Again, I'm just doing it like a pocket, and I'm going to put it down here to cover that little bit that was not covered previously. See, you can always fix the mistakes, because I do have trouble getting things finished, and I have people who are waiting for stuff for a very, very long time, and they have been so kind and so compassionate. And if you've been following me, you know of the health problems that I have faced and that my husband has faced, and the issues that we've had, and through all of it, we still have to continue to work, and you know, the moving, and just, yeah, it's just been a lot. And you know, I'm trying to get past that and finish things. So finish is one of my words. Simplify is another one of my words. And they're all sort of linked together. And I say this in one of my other videos. And that peace of mind, I'm hyphenating. Now this one's hanging low here, but that's fine because you just snip that off. You don't, it's not a big deal. Just snip that little piece right off right there. Does not matter. Does not matter. And that one is going to go right here. Okay. It's going to go on this one. Right like that. And we're going to ink this up. There's a little bit of glue on my finger. Oh, and I do have something I want to show you. I have to unbury it, I think. I got this. This is a glue eraser. And it does work on paper. I got a little bit of glue right there. And it does, if you get it quickly, you know, relatively quickly, you don't want to try to do that a couple days afterwards. I think it probably wouldn't work. But it will take off that glue, especially if you have it like where it hangs over and you want to get it off. But it works on your fingers, guys. It works on getting the glue off your fingers. Now, the 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac doesn't take too much to get off. You can pick at it and it sort of comes off. But the one that I have the most trouble with is the art glitter glue. And I just rub my fingertips on the end of this and it cleans the glue off. See? Can you see it? I'm going to actually just bring this up. Can you see those little bits and pieces? That's what I just rubbed off my fingers with that. It's awesome. Love that. Okay, we're going to get rid of that. So anyway, so that being said, oh, and I didn't glue, you know what? I'm not going to glue this one down. I'm going to leave it alone. Who knows? I did glue this one and I can't do anything about that, but we'll see. But anyway, so yeah, so I have simplify. I'm hyphenating peace of mind so I can make it one word. I'm going to use the word finish. Another one of my words was remember. I get so busy and I am a checklist kind of person. So I have a habit of just checking things off my list. And I know I said this in another video, but I have a habit of checking things off my list and then I move on. And you know what that old saying, out of sight, out of mind. And it's like truly, once I'm done with it, I don't want to think about it again. And so I find that when I get a chance to kind of stop and think about things, and other things happen, you know, in between, family things or phone calls or whatever, and I'll be talking to my sister and she'll be telling me something and I'm like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, I told you that. I'm like, you did? She's like, yeah, you don't remember me telling you that? Because I get so busy, guys, that when I'm talking to people that I don't even, like, I can't even focus. I can't retain. So I have to remember. I have to be intentional in being in the moment and hearing people and, you know, and remembering things. It's just, it's terrible. I'm not going to attribute this to, you know, just old age and I'm getting forgetful. I'm attributing to the fact that I get so frantically busy that I just don't focus and I just don't kind of stay in that moment. So, I'm going to try my best to do that. So again, just gluing it like a pocket around the 3 sides. We're going to put that right down here to the best of my ability. Okay, now that one looks like it's going to be a little short because I want to line up those corners. And if for some reason I end up having to cut the bottom because this last piece of paper doesn't, you know, come down where it's supposed to, I just trim it off. That's all. It's not going to be a big deal. So it is not going to be a big deal. Just make sure that that is where it belongs because you do want those corners right up to the edge. And I think what I called this was my triple envelope stack or something, pocket, stacked pocket or something, because it looks like an envelope, even though it's not really because you don't have the flap. But I didn't know what to call it. You know, you start running out of names for things that you come up with. So, but anyway, so that's that one. I've got my line right there, and I'm going to go ahead and fold on this line, and hopefully I will have enough to go to the bottom so I don't have to worry about trimming it. But in a way, I won't really mind if I do have to trim it, because where's mine? I don't know where it is, but I can use this. I kind of wouldn't mind having to trim it if that's the case, because I want you to be able to see that just because it doesn't line up, it's fixable. Oh, do you see this, how that slid under here because I've cut this 1,000 times? I'm getting a new one. However, I'm going to leave this one on. I've got it taped all over the place from where I've cut into it, because I forget I'm cutting something with the craft knife and I just put it down and cut. I'm like, oh, I'm not supposed to do that. So, but I use this mat to, when I'm going to dye some lace or ribbon, if I'm going to do it right here on the mat, and if I'm not going to do a massive amount of it, just a small little bit, I'll do it on the mat, because it wipes right up, it cleans right up, it doesn't bleed through, you know, so it doesn't make like a mess underneath, and it works really, really nicely. So this one I'm going to keep. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and keep, and I'm going to keep working on this one because the glue does come off of it real easily. But if I feel I need to, I want to, you know, color some ribbon or lace or something, just a little pile by hand like that, then I will take out the other mat and use that one and try to be very careful that I don't hurt that one. So, but anyway, so let's see. I said I have simplify, peace of mind, finish, remember, and I had another one, you see, I think, and I forgot what it was because I didn't remember. Yeah, I think I was thinking about it last night while I was laying in bed in that half slumber state that you get in, and I think it probably just went out of my head, but something will remind me of it. But definitely those four, what I have to do is decide. It's halfway through January practically, but I have to decide which one is going to be the foundational word. And yeah, see, this one hangs over, so which is fine. I'm going to line that right up there and right down here. And then if I feel, when I flip it over, if I feel I need to trim it, I can. I may just be able to glue it down and it'll be fine. My plan for this one was to glue it right into the journal, because this is going into the Olivia journal, which by the time you see this video, this one for the tutorial, the journal should be finished and hopefully on its way to Olivia, the woman who ordered it. But I'm not going to put the flip through of the journal, which is going to be long. I'm warning you, because it's a big journal full of a lot of stuff. I won't put the flip through up until she gets it, probably, unless she tells me she would like it to see it before. I don't know. So we'll just have to see. But that's where this is going. And quite honestly, I don't need to tuck another piece of paper behind it, because this journal is so huge. She had wanted a big journal, you know, with a lot of special stuff. That was what her exact words to me. So I have all these special things that I made that are actually quite space consuming. And when they are out of the journal lays nicely. But when they're in the journal, and there's like 8 or 10 of them, probably about 8 that aren't in the book right now while I was working on it. When they're in the book really has a, you know, it's closable. It's not that it's not closable, but it certainly is easier. I think it'll be much easier to write in if those special pieces are not in the book. So she can keep them out if she prefers, or put them in if, you know, she wants. And it works. See, it's a little on the edge here, hanging over, and you can see where some of it's hanging over here, but it's not going to matter, because on the front you don't see it. So we are good. And see how nice that comes off. Just rub that glue right off. So now again, you can see some of the glue on the back. the little bits and pieces, and I just run this along, and it gets that stuff right off. And I don't need to get all of that off. I just wanted to show you because it's going to be, you know, glued down. So anyway, so that's what you have. Okay, now what is my time? That's not too bad. I think we can put the lace on. So let me find the lace, which is right here. Okay, and I glued this one from behind. So we're just going to cut some pieces, more or less to fit, and I can trim them later. Let me flip this over. All right, let me get this out of the way before I poke myself. So we'll get this down. Got to remember to fill this up again. Okay, get rid of some of that. So yeah, so that's my plan, guys. I'm gonna actually, I mentioned in another one of the videos, I can't remember which one, be taping these things ahead. Normally what I would do is whatever I did, I would do it, and you know, I do the project and then immediately upload the video. And so it was, you know, you'd see the video as soon as I finished the project. But now it's going to be a little bit more planned ahead. So I'll be filming ahead, and my plan is to try to film in order. Because then when I talk to you, I don't want you to be watching a video today that says, you know, we went to New Jersey and visited my son, and then, you know, 3 videos later say, we're planning on a trip to go visit my son. You know, I'm trying to, you know, keep things chronologically together. So we're just going to trim that one. Okay, and then we're going to go down these sides right here. 1, 2, and 3. And that would finish it. That finishes it off. And you don't have to put ribbon. I just felt it needed a little bit more. But that was just me. That's just me. Let's go ahead and put this one down. And I'm just going to cut it, and then I'll come back and trim it in a minute. Let that sit. And I'm going to do this one. Okay. Let me unroll this a little bit more. And put this one on here, like so. Okay. Trim this one off. And put one on this one. And to me, this kind of looked a little like, you know, when a ribbon folds back and forth, like, you know, it just, so I thought of calling it like a ribbon pocket, but it really doesn't have any ribbon, and I thought that would be confusing. So, I don't know. But anyway, so we have this one, and we'll put that one right there. Try to get that as straight as possible. Trim this one off. And then I'm just going to go back up here. I'm going to flip this over. Let's press this down a little bit. I'll flip it over and go ahead and trim there, there, and there, and here, and here. And get rid of my little bits, and we are done. That's pretty identical to the other one. And then, like I said, the cards just go on in. I'm not, well, I can put them in here, but I don't know if these will actually fit because, you know, the glue is a thing. So this feels like it wants to have a little bit more play in it. That one. And, oops, wrong place. That's for the secret paper. If you want that. Yeah, these are actually fitting okay. And then this one in here. So that is it, guys. This was the one I finished before. This is the one we just finished now. So that's it. We're done with this one. So that is our tutorial. And Oh, I was trying to brush that away, but it doesn't brush away. So there you have it. So this is our finished, I don't know, triple stacked faux envelope pocket. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it, but whatever I call it will be on the top of this video, on the description box. It may just be that. I'm not sure if I can remember that. But anyway, that's it for today. So until the next time, guys, be safe, be happy, be blessed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.